and the moral decay of the left. I mean, if you can't distinguish right and wrong between the Hamas and Israel, you are a sick human being, truly sick. You're sick in your soul. Hamas is evil. Is that not obvious? Okay, the word Palestinian is irrelevant here, just like the word German was irrelevant in World War II. What was relevant was the word Nazi. Okay? Nazis were evil, Hamas is evil. I see very little difference between them. The left doesn't see that. The New York Times does not see that. It's a moral cesspool out there. Israel might be, which would not be the first time, Jews end up being the canary in the mine. So what will the miners do? The poison gas in the mine is leftism. So will the Democratic Party leave the mine? Will they fight the toxic fumes? Or will they die as all liberals have when they have supported the left? This is so. It's the waste matter will hit the fan on some issue, and it appears that in this case it will be Israel. The liberals are okay with all the anti-American evil coming from the left. They're okay with the distortion of the human species into the belief that men give birth. But some issue has got to give, and apparently it might be Israel. If you can't call Hamas evil, you're evil. Are you a nice person personally? Yes, could well be. That happens. Nice people have supported evil throughout history. And not nice people have. And the same on the other side. Though I have no doubt that as a general rule, conservatives are nicer than leftists. If for no other reason, then they are happier. Yeah. Happy people make the world better. The unhappy make it worse. It's one of the mottos of my happiness hour. So it's a very interesting thing, to say the least. Well, except what do we have here now? Fox News. Democrats take tougher stance against Israel as conflict escalates. There's a growing schism in the Democratic Party over the U.S. relationship with Israel, as some progressive lawmakers demand that President Biden take a tougher stance against the Israeli government, amid an increasingly aggressive confrontation with Palestinian groups. Oh, my God. Well, that's why I wrote my column, which I ask you to look at on Town Hall at DennisPrager.com. Comes out Tuesdays. Then it moves to Daily Wire, American Greatness, and to the Jewish Press, and a lot of other places. But you can see it today at DennisPrager.com and Town Hall. Men give birth. The United States was founded in 1619, and Israel is the aggressor. There you go. Three things the left advocates and believes. So it is. Ryan in Aberdeen, South Dakota, hello.
Hey, thank you for taking my call, Dennis. I've been a long time fan of PragerU and your work on the internet, and just wanted to give a shout out to WZFG Fargo. They're hearing your show for the week.
That's great. Great.
I kind of wanted to talk about why, in my mind, the Israeli alliance with America is so important. And I'm sure as a practicing religious Jew, you probably know the story of Moses and Jethro, his father-in-law. and the idea that when Moses asked Jethro how to be a leader of men, Jethro said, well, just don't try so hard, whatever's local should remain local. And it is my belief that in the history of human affairs and government, two countries have enshrined that idea of freedom as a virtue into their founding documents, and that's Israel and America. And I believe that it's important. The Israeli-American alliance is important precisely because of that those two countries have in common.
Yeah. Well, what does America have in common with Hamas? Ask the left that, compared to what America has in common with Israel. 20% of Israel is not Jewish, is Arab. They sit in parliament. They are, in fact, the makers of the prime minister. They're so powerful because it's a parliament, so you have to get a certain number of seats or party votes in order to be a prime minister. It's the way it works there, as it does in Europe, in the parliamentary system. An Arab sat, maybe still sits, on the Israeli Supreme Court. Some apartheid state, eh? Well, men give birth. Israel's an apartheid state. 1-8-Prager 776.